what was so amazing to see was before each show start, they gave you a different issue picture. Like you actually looking at a comic book with the concept art of the issue on front of it. They changed it up every episode, and I was like, oh man, that's great. I like that. Very amazing. Yo, what up, cinephiles and entertainment seekers, and also what up, Coop Troop? This is your man, your host, your maestro of this great channel of ours, DeAndre Cooper, coming at you with what? DraeRadio, cinema news and movie reviews. Welcome back to my channel, you guys, because my show is a fan coming to the fans, you feel me? I am nothing but fandom and everything that I talk about, from cinema news and movie reviews. I'm nobody heavy in the Hollywood industry, so thank you for choosing this video of mine. Welcome to my channel, and you feel me? Today's episode is a series review where we will be talking about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man that released on Disney Plus last month. You feel me? January, that is. Which lets you know we're in February in this video, so happy Black History Month, you guys. You feel me? So, excuse me. Just got to eat some grapes. But to break down the premise of this episode of mine, I will be bringing a remix, basically my recipe for my movie reviews into my series reviews, which will definitely be moving forward in future content. So first off, what we'll do, we'll go to Rotten Tomatoes. We'll look at the critic score, the audience score, give you an about section of what the series is about. Then we'll hop on over to the top critic reviews. Just the top critic reviews. That's all I do. That's all I'm based off of. Because as I'm a fan bringing you my fan opinions, I feel like sometimes if I were to get into a debatable back and forth, respectfully, you feel me? Because, you know, all things are subjective. But I would wait until I'm at a live streaming place of my hobby to indulge in that. So top critic reviews are the only thing that I'll do because I can't really talk to them like that. But I would love to talk to you guys. So help me build this channel up. If you like anything that you hear on my videos, share, comment, subscribe for more. And then following through with the top critic score reviews, we'll talk about my good thoughts, my bad thoughts, and if I recommend you watch this series. Does it has any rewatchability? Is it good or bad? Or is it mid? You feel me? But yeah, that's how this show will go down. Again, thank you for clicking on my video, as you could have chosen many other people to indulge in this conversation for. And if you already have and just looking for a new opinion on it, thank you for choosing me. So again, welcome to my channel. Without further ado, let's get it started, you guys. Woo. My apologies, I'm still eating grapes. Get your water, y'all. Stay hydrated. Shout out to Tony Baker, water activist. So, on Rotten Tomatoes, look at here, y'all. 97% on the tomato meter. The critics really love this. The critics really love this. We are 3 points away. Take away 2 to an actual 100% Rotten Tomato meter score from the critics. Some good things to come from this series, especially with it officially. I'm not sure yet, but I know just from the way the series ended, season 2 is coming. Without a shadow of a doubt, it is. Now, the popcorn meter, which represents the audience, the fans, us, you hear me? 71%. How so? I feel like I have some of my own opinionated thoughts on for the fans to why it's a 71%, but we'll indulge in that a little more in my good and bad thoughts for this series. What is this series, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, about? An alternated story, in my opinion, because the synopsis is just that plain and simple. But let me give y'all that first. Following Peter Parker on his way to becoming a hero. That's it. That's all I see on the Rotten Tomato website. But in my opinion, it is an alternated story of the Peter Parker that we have in the MCU, Tom Holland Peter Parker, that is. An alternated story of somewhat of the same events, different alternated universe. No, it's not shedding light into the multiverse saga that was a miss and somewhat of a hit in, I believe, Phase 5 MCU storyline. But the things that I will talk about and shed light on will give you that comparison to representation of Phase 5 multiverse saga and to why I say this is really an, as you see for yourself, in a alternated universe. Which universe number that is, I'm not sure. But you hear me? So basically, a coming into your will story, like finding out who you are as this new persona, the things that you'll tolerate, the things that frustrate you. A high school story. We're back in high school, so that's what this is. From my knowledge and internet perspective, in the past when this show was greenlit, we were told that this is going to be Spider-Man freshman year. That's what the series was called. It was going to be based on Tom Holland's Spider-Man, an animated version of how he became Spider-Man from the Spider Bite, an origin story, leading into his now status in the MCU. It was going to be a prequel without a movie version, TV series style. I was so excited for that. I was big ready for that. And apparently to the, creator, the writer, the director, he said he pitched to Marvel, which I believe when Bob Iger and Kevin Feige came back in the regime into their empireship, he mentioned that was going to take a lot of restrictions out of the story that he really wanted to tell if he based it on Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So he was granted the privilege of making an alternative universe with somewhat of the same stories, but yet extending on to new stories that was surprisingly a good time. Very engaging. So that's a little backstory in this series from me. Go back and fact check yourself, you feel me? Because I won't ever bring any rumor news to you guys because I do read articles and I am a heavy follower in all the, Hollywood Reporters, Varieties, Entertainment Weekly platforms. So I'm going to bring to you guys exactly what I read. Everything that I say is never going to be false. But if you like to challenge me, then by all means, do what you feel is best. So that is everything from the About to Tomato score and Popcorn Meter score from the critics and audience on the Rotten Tomato website. Let's talk about the top critic scores, which is not really many. It's just 5. So that's really all I bring to my show is just top 5, critic scores and, elaborate on them, indulge on them on a fandom basis, as well as kind of almost challenging them on theirs if I have any, debatable issues with or if I agree with it. And from the looks of it, y'all, we have a clean sweep of fresh reviews coming from the top critics of Rotten Tomatoes. Let's dive into the first one. You feel me? Randy Jones. What's happening, brother? From RogerEbert.com. He says, It's a riveting series, although it's better heard than seen. I'm not sure where to go with the although it's better heard than seen. If I'm bringing a little insight in it, to which I might understand what he's talking about, the visuals. I wasn't too big on the visuals, I'm not really that big of this type of animated viewer style. But I guess I'm not sure what you guys think about it. So that's from Randy Jones, coming from RogerEbert.com. Got it first try that time. Now we're with Amon Warman. Black History Month. We shining this month. You feel me? He is from Empire Magazines. He says, yet another successful remix of Spider-Man and his world, which nods to all that comes before, but charts its own bold path. Yes, it does. It does. Will happily hang in this neighborhood a while longer. A 10-episode series to set the basis of what we're getting into in future seasons. Surprisingly and unexpectedly to me, this was beautifully perfect. Definitely perfect. I do have a track record of Spider-Man series that I've indulged in, from the Amazing Spider-Man, obviously, the Spectacular Spider-Man. Oh my God, that was a family home bonding series. And then getting back into more aside from the movies, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Oh, unexpected to me personally, great time. So, a remix of Spider-Man is heavy on the word remix. That was from Amon Warman with Empire Magazine. Now we have Gerard Jones from AV Club. He says, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is surprisingly mature for being this energetic and squishy. We will dive into the mature aspects of this series, which I am so shocked Disney pulled that lever to even do. A PG-rated take that treats its teen characters with respect by not insulting their intelligence or limiting their growth. Again, y'all, a solid start. A beautiful start. Nothing really questionable aside from character annoyance, which I feel like I have to give that credit again to the show, because this will be another review of mine to where it's less bad thoughts and more appreciation excuse me, to the good thoughts that I have for it. You feel me? Character development was soaring, and it really did leave you wanting more, given the fact again that it was a 10-episode series. Don't all first seasons start off with let's try this first before we initiate more? I'm not mad at it. That was Jared Jones with AV Club. We have, sorry, Miss Ma'am, if I butcher your name, I'm going to try my best. Aramid Tinubu from Variety. She says the 10-episode debut season is beautifully nostalgic while still capturing the essence of being a teenager in the 2020s. Sticking with the modern day slice of life is definitely bringing in new audience, which Spider-Man Tom Holland is for surely for Generation Alpha. Absolutely, but it brings a lot of appreciation for comic book heads and definitely nostalgia. I can just really stick with the comic books because Spider-Man was known for a very youthful run until we got more adult filled for where I stand on, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and other comic book storylines that represented more of a adult timeline Spider-Man. But sticking with the, youthful teenagers in this modern day age, specifically 2020 and probably the back end of like 2017 ish. Definitely a beautiful, beautiful essence for, being a teenager, capturing their styles and slice of life, as well as, again, being a 10 episode debut season is beautifully nostalgic. A lot of nostalgic things from the remix version of Spider-Man does whatever a spider can with a little rap verse on it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm an anime watcher. I love anime, and I watch every entrance, every ending, never skip. I skipped the intro to this show probably after the third episode. I was like, yeah, I could do without the remix intro of Spider-Man. You feel me? Little thing. But that was from Aramid Tinubu. Please, ma'am, I apologize if I butchered your name. Thank you for your review. Last but not least, for the top critic score reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, we have Daniel Finberg from The Hollywood Reporter. He says, it's bright, high energy, and inoffensively young skewing. Having a lot of fun with its buffed up antique aesthetic. It's slight, but pleasantly slow. Pleasantly so. A lot of appreciation from Daniel Finberg. Nothing more that I can really, elaborate on, but he shared the same thought process that I did. Everything on here was a lot of fun. It was must-see series television viewership. Every week it was something exciting to tune into. And then I'm not really the binger anymore that I used to be when it come down to binging shows. I feel like I would tire myself out just as quickly as I did back then. But the way that they dropped these episodes were definitely very much appreciation to the way I view and watch TV shows now. So, every week it would be 2 episodes, or I feel like bi-weekly it would be in between 2 or 3 episodes. But hey, I was fine with that. I was definitely fine with that. So that was coming from Daniel Finberg with The Hollywood Reporter. And that would wrap up everything that we have to discuss from RottenTomatoes.com, from the scores, critics, and audience, the about of the series, the top critic score reviews. If you liked anything that you heard in this segment of my show, drop down on the comment section below and give your thoughts and opinions, for which, again, I am a fan, bringing my content and thoughts and, respecting the entertainment industry to other fans. Now, it is my turn. It's my turn. You feel me? It's my turn. If y'all want to know the backstory to why I always say it's my turn on my videos, it's all because of Red One, a film that I definitely didn't want to entertain because I'm really not that big of a Dwayne Johnson, The Rock fan. But holiday film, I was in the holiday spirit, wanted to watch it, and my favorite character was Krampus. It was Krampus. And the slap scene was just amazing. Chef's kiss. The face plant. Let me absorb this hit. I'm like, whoa.
My turn.
Let's talk about my goods, my bads, if I recommend this film, and does it have any rewatchability, you guys. Let's get it started. All right. So, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series on Disney Plus. So remember me telling you guys that this was supposed to be a series that was a prequel to our Tom Holland Spider-Man, which was initially titled Spider-Man Freshman Year. Now we get the new title, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And to give that quick of a comparison, look at these pictures right here that I'm going to place on, you know, the little screen of where we see Spider-Man walk into his home. Y'all remember the montage of where you get that song and it lets you know that we're in Queens. We see him walking into his apartment, but instead of being introduced by Tony Stark, Iron Man, talking with Aunt May, we get Norman Osborn. Not your typical Norman Osborn, because we know Norman to be of, you know, the white race. Whew. Talk about Black History Month and change, you guys. We got a brother. That is Norman Osborn. And not only a brother, an iconic actor in this industry of ours, Coleman Domingo. What a big surprise. That man been getting a lot of acknowledgement from my point of view, just from my first time seeing him on Candyman, the recent one that dropped in 2010s, then Euphoria, and now he's getting Oscar nominations from a movie called Sing Sing, which I haven't seen yet. I haven't watched it yet. But he is Norman Osborn. I love his demeanor. I love his portrayal of this character. It is amazing. But again, as you can see, the comparison from the MCU startup scene to where we are first introduced to Tom Holland Spider-Man is basically that same scene, but alternative. You feel me? So that's where this show is setting, I guess, a remix of a future foundation for this series. I'm not mad at it. I'm not going to lie to you guys when I say I walked into this series with definitely low expectations. I wasn't expecting me to actually enjoy it because from the trailer, I didn't get a comic book feel of visuals until later on as I'm watching the show. I was looking at it through like the anime Berserker eyes, the animated cartoon show Archer eyes, and I was like, I'm not a big fan of this type of animation. I just can't do it. It's not for me, but I went into it. First episode, I was locked in. The comic book feels for this show was so perfect. Like I was literally flipping a page of a comic book strip from the pow wows, whams, you feel me? And I was like, whoa, okay, I can get down with this. Nothing as quirky yet to actually like take me away, because the first episode set the foundation to where we get introduced fairly familiar characters in this series. From my collection, only 2 of the MCU. One was actually played by, I'm just going to dive into it, Charlie Cox, coming back to reprise his role as Daredevil. We have Benedict Cumberbatch. No, not Benedict Cumberbatch. That's what I meant to say. Not Benedict Cumberbatch coming back to portray his character, Doctor Strange. But only those 2 characters, aside from the Spider-Man villain catalog that was on this film, from switch-up characters that's like, who played the Lizard? I forgot his name, but Dr. Connors. Dr. Connors is not a male. He is played by a woman. And it's so much of a mother nurturing to her character that was still appreciated and definitely gave original Dr. Connor vibes. A whole lot of stuff is switched in this series, you guys, but still unexpectedly, shockingly amazing. Amazing Spider-Man, that is, you feel me? But Your Friendly Neighborhood. I had the experience of a comic book lifetime watching this series. I actually did. It was already placed in my schedule of viewership every other week when the schedules of either 2 episodes or 3 episodes dropped. I was in my seat, snack on hand, and I guess some of the show was short length to me. I guess from the first two, given that it was, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, 24 to 25 episodes. And then let's not even acknowledge the 4-minute credits at the end to 5 to 7-minute credits that took away all that length of what you see before you press the episode that say 34 minutes. Come on, Disney. Y'all got to do better with that. Give us these full-length episodes. But we did get some average full-length, TV show episodes on the later mid to back end of the show. So I had a experience with this show, and I definitely enjoyed it. Let's talk about my good thoughts. You feel me? My good thoughts for this show is the character development for everybody that we were introduced to Peter, Nico, his best friend, Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn, we all know him to be the Green Goblin, somebody that's real snaky and edgy in his appearance. But this Norman Osborn came through with an influence of where Tony Stark took Peter under his wing. This Norman Osborn did the same thing. And somewhere in the beginning of all this, I was on his side. I was like, I feel like if this is an alternative universe, are we really going to get that, counsel from Norman Osborn and not something that's like a flip-flop of a story to see him actually get back into that bad persona? But midway through the series, I was like, yeah, I feel like Norman got something else under his sleeve. To which, in the beginning of the show, we see other benchwarmer villains, like really benchwarmer villains, cause a little, street havoc. But taking the placement to where I thought it was Norman Osborn, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was Dr. Octavius on the back end. So characters like him, villains like him were introduced on here. Otto Octavius, Scorpion, Norman Osborn, to where I can now call him a villain in this series now, because I believe in season 2 and hopefully season 3, if not 4, we're not going to see no more good trace of his character. More good things again from the character development. Peter friends. Normally you would get like a Flash Thompson situation, Eddie Brock situation, to where Peter always have that one person that's not even frenemies, but basically his Goku to Vegeta. We are introduced to Lonnie Lincoln. It took me a couple episodes to actually say, let me go look up Lonnie Lincoln's biography and see which character he is. Tombstone, you guys. And no spoiler, but myself was first introduced to Tombstone through the Sony Spider-Man game, specifically Spider-Man 2. And I was like, Lonnie Lincoln sounds familiar to me. Definitely. And as Peter has a love interest in this series as well, that love interest is connected to Lonnie Lincoln, which they are a couple. But Lonnie Lincoln is not a bad guy. He actually he's friends with Peter. Like, looking at Peter like, bro, you cool people. Dap him up and all. And then they have a moment at the end of the series, which is beautifully and, not really confusing on levels yet, just because one of the other, well, obviously Lonnie Lincoln gets immersed with the powers to which we'll see consume him in later episodes in like season 2 or 3. But him and Spider-Man have a little team up at the end, and it's very refreshing. Very refreshing. He gets put in circumstances that he put himself in to protect his little brother and keep his family out of harm's way. But as he taking his lifestyle out of the career of football ship and now into the streets, which I believe his gang was called the 10th Street Gang. That's his new family now. And He's locked in. He is locked in. The side characters on here were not annoying. Not annoying. I'm going to get to the annoying stuff later on, which mentions one side character, but Harry Osborn on here. You know, Peter going through the phases of actually getting a new suit. I like this original suit that he had on. It wasn't like the onesie suit that Tom Holland had on. This actually looked like real work done from the web mechanics, having wire string under his arm and stuff like that. And, you know, a little jersey filled with the little Nike Airs on. This was a cool Spider-Man suit. And then the first suit we actually see him get, the official suit, not from the monologue of suits, from like him being like a Wasp Man almost. Not the Spider Monkey, but like somewhat with little capes, wings on his side, which he was able to do on Spider-Man 2, the game. You know, we see him in this anti-white and bluish, navy bluish suit that was basically his Iron Spider suit from the first movie. Not the actual Iron Spider suit on like Infinity War, but the Iron Spider-Man suit with the Friday mechanics inside the system from Norman Osborn, but in the black and navy blue version. Until later on in the series, we actually get the official Spider-Man suit gifted by Harry Osborn himself. But the storyline for this show was still intriguing. Nothing to really fall off of. Spider-Man just being human, still trying to live a normal teenage boy life, but then finding responsibility and protectiveness to follow into the new path of which he's in now, and that's to be our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The mature parts of this show was definitely shocking because coming from the 10th Street gang, fighting the Scorpion gang, guns, which you would think Disney would pull away from guns, but no, actual guns, people getting stabbed and gashed on here. I was like, whoa, very shocking, but I'm still here. I'm still locked in. I'm like, wow, they're really going that far with the portrayalship of the reality of this world. And I wasn't mad at it at all. I know some parents might not want their kids to look at the viewership of that type of content being placed within a heavenly respected superhero like Spider-Man, but hey, parents, I guess you're warned. Pick and choose if this is something you want to watch with your kids or have them watch alone. But just note that street gang violence is heavy on here, especially on the mature aspect with people actually being shot and stabbed. So I'm actually surprised that they went that route with this show. The comic book stuff was definitely intriguing to me. You feel me? And what was so amazing to see was before each show start, they gave you a different issue picture, like you actually looking at a comic book with the concept art of the issue on front of it. They changed it up every episode, and I was like, oh man, that's great. I like that. Very amazing. So from the side characters, the character development for each character, it's wonderful. Very unexpected. The comic book visuals was unexpected, and I was down for everything of this show. Nothing much of any more bad that I will be talking about later on in that segment, but seeing Charlie Cox being involved in this, and I wish Benedict Cumberbatch could have had a little time for this too, but Charlie Cox was definitely serious in the Daredevil episode that he was in. Yeah, y'all, that's all my good thoughts that I have for this film. Let's dive over to the bad, which I promise you, it won't really be a lot of bad. So this is hopefully going to be a quick, short series review. You know, most of my reviews are never that quick and short. Honorable mention one time, just talking about the episode release schedules. Yes, I'm currently seeing how first released in January 29th. We have 2 episode release, and then every episode, like midway from February 5th to February 12th, we get 3 full episodes, and then the last season finale episodes, which were only 2, on February 19th, we get 2 episodes. So that type of viewership was definitely appreciated to me. Let's talk about the bad thoughts that I have for this series. One bad thought that I've talked about heavy was Donovan, Big Don, from the 10th Street Gang, and his character. Why is it that every gang has a grown man that don't even know how to live life for himself on a positive note, go out and recruit teenagers to help them build a family and do their negative biddings in the world? That is so stupidly childish to me, like very unrespected, my guy. I can't really respect nobody on that level. So like to see a grown man in this little position that he in carry the team the way that he do, it was annoying to me, but that gives credit to the show to where I just really wasn't rocking with it. I wasn't rocking with it, but it serves purpose to the show. But that's, again, these are my bad thoughts, not from a critic standpoint, but from a fan. And that was definitely annoying to me, man, for real. So, other than, you know, Big Don, Donovan, he got what was heavenly deserved at the end of the series, which definitely, excuse my words of language, he punked out of his own crew. You feel me? Through the worst of bad circumstances, because somebody that's overpowering than you put you at a little lockbox trap situation where you like, I gotta dip, man. I can't do this no more. What? Come on, G. What's happening? What's slipping hard? Another bad thought for me was, again, the length of the episodes. Given the fact that every episode that you see has hit besides the 2 episodes that says 25-minute mark, and then the later on episodes that hit you with a 34 if not 41, the long ending credits, Disney, what is happening? Y'all taking away so much shade from this show and then leaving us with 7-minute end credits? Come on, y'all. Some of these episodes were shorter than what the description even had it to be for. So Disney got to really do better with all that. That's underserving to the viewership for us. Like, we looking, expecting more than what's issued. And then the anticipation, we understand the recipe. Like, y'all want to have us tuned in each week and be intrigued for what's up to come next. We already there. We're there, y'all. And I'm just speaking from my point of view. We're there. So stop with all these long credits at the end. Like, take it back to the little TV Comcast, you know, cable days where the end credits were just boom, that snap of a finger. Y'all tripping on that. We don't need all these credits on here. So, like I said, y'all, check it out. That's all for my bad thoughts. There's nothing really much bad. Again, I walked in with low expectations because I wasn't expecting where the animation style could have took. But, hey, I loved it. The comic book vibes of this show was spectacular. It was vibrant. It was intriguing. I read manga. I'm not going to say never because I do read Game of Thrones books. So, but those books are really, really pick and choosy for me, which is heavily on the word basis. But I love comic books, and this was a visual comic book series that I unexpectedly appreciated and loved. So that is it for my good and bad thoughts. Here is my segment for the review of if I recommend this show to you guys. Is it good? Is it bad? Or is it mid? And check this out. Let's give a little judgment. Let's give the Does the show get executed or does it get greenlit? How are you guys feeling? What are your thoughts before you see what's about to be revealed? Are you with the show? Are you tapping out of the show? Or are you locked in to see what the second season is all about? Here's me. Here's what I'm with right now. And the show is good, you guys. The Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series on Disney Plus is a great, wonderful time. I give it 2 thumbs up. You feel me? I'm looking forward to the second season. The rewatchability, I'm not going to say I will tap into that just in a recent instant after it, ended. But before the second season, I see myself rewatching the first season. Just for a recap. You feel me? But hey, there we go. There we have it. I'm not going to keep you here no longer than I would intend to do already. But that was my series for review for Disney's Plus, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Did you watch the series? Did I intrigue you more so to watch the series? If not, or if so, drop down on the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts of your good, bads, and does the series has rewatchability for you guys? Thank you for joining me again, you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, share my content, and follow the Coop Troop. We are an amazing time. This is your host of this great channel of ours, DeAndre Cooper, coming at you with what? DraeRadio, cinema news, and movie reviews. Come follow me and check me out on the next piece of content that I drop for you. Check you out on the next round. Woo!